just finished a roofing project here with Joe, one of our lead installers here at Paradise. So tell me a little bit about your background, Joe.
Well, I grew up in athlete sports and started dragging tarps for my neighbor when I was about 14 years old in the summer times and sometimes after school on weekends. And first day he got me up on a nailer. Back then we got paid really cheap, so I got about $10 a square, so about $3 a bundle. But if we got 10 square on, we ended up getting 15, so we got a raise on it. And back then it was all 3 tabs, which they're trying not to do anymore. And I remember plain as day, I was 15 years old. I came up the rake edge and I thought it was perfect. Tear it off, he says. So I tore that one off 3 times, and I think what he's trying to do is not get me up to the 10 square. But I did it my first day ever, and since then I never put down a nailer. And my oldest boy here, he's going to be a lead foreman, and it's just been really sweet.
That's great.
Never stopped.
How long you been roofing?
39, so let's say 24 years.
24 years.
Yeah, 22 different states at least of roofing.
Gotcha.
Florida is my favorite one because I get to wear shorts, and where I'm from, the snow is about up to my shorts. So
Where's that?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yep. Glad to be with Paradise. Love the crew. Love the quality of work you guys do. Everything's professional, and I'm call it home.
Great to have you a part of the Paradise family.
Awesome.
Great to have your family working with you. Tell me a little bit about your son that works with you.
Well, my son's 19. He's going to school. He just got a full ride scholarship to the University of Minnesota. Up there, COVID's really bad, so haven't really been able to go into school, so he's been doing it online. We're on winter break right now, so he'll come up on the roof and he's learning, and then he'll go run down in the truck for a couple hours, do his Zoom meetings in school, come back up and finish out the day. And one of his good buddies, KJ, all these guys are good friends of his. They're all athletes, they're all from home, they all came down, so we're a team. No one's the boss, we're just a little more experienced than the others, and we just pass it down, work together, and get it done right.
Well, you guys work together very well. What kind of training have you received as far as roofing?
Well, actually, the day I graduated high school, I had my brother drive me to the airport. I got on a plane and I left, and I've already been roofing for about 4 years then. I took off, I went down to California, took a water and weatherproofing class. It was 4 weeks total, and then a week of online class in. I got my water and weatherproofing certificate, and then I ended up getting an OSHA 10 card, and I worked for USA Roofing out there. I was 18, lead foreman, running guys that were 30, and they hated me, because I was a young guy. Stayed out there for about 18 months, went back to Minnesota. I got my certification in TAMCO GAF, or Certainteed at the time. I actually did the first roof ever when GAF bought out Certainteed. In Minnesota, I did the first roof ever when they finally switched the shingle over. So that was kind of neat too. My brother, he frames for a framing company, so I would go in between and do all his roofing after. But I guess that's just kind of how it started out. And I'm certified in every kind of installation you can get on shingles, as well as TPO and EPDM, which they don't do much down here, but I'm certified by Carlisle Firestone. I have an OSHA 40 now. My water and weatherproofing certificate. I have a NATE certification, which is basically mold and abatement, same as an insurance adjuster would have. I've worked insurance from the ACV to the RCV to supplements to code upgrades. So I've made it my life.
How long have you been installing here in Florida?
On and off for about 5.5 years.
Gotcha. And how is it installing in Florida versus the rest of the country?
Well, if you go up to where I'm from, we deal with nothing but ice. So there's a whole different code line from up there to here. What we do here is we lay a 30 felt paper down on the bottom. Up there, we'll do a peel and stick kind of like our second layer here, but we'll adhere that to the decking. The codes are completely different down here. Another big thing down here is we don't have hurricanes up there.
Yes. We
don't have them winds. We do have some tornadoes, but they're not as forceful and as long lasting as a hurricane is. So the features down here is our nailing patterns are a lot different. They're closer together, they're tighter. With our tin tag, which is really a really good system. Instead of just putting a nail in or staples like you would up there, or even a button cap, we have a tin tag with a nail through it, which gets to the deck, but it covers a wider span of the paper, so it prevents it from blowing off. And that's the biggest thing down here is the wind.
Yes.
Even when you're doing tile or anything else, you're always anchoring things. You're always putting hurricane straps or hurricane clips on. So the installation is, a lot of products now are pretty comparable, except for if you get into like the HDZs and the LG resistant shingles, they're just a higher upgrade. But once you want to be the one roof after a hurricane that's still standing, I think that's the most important part for insurance reasons and just for peace of mind, you know.
And how do you like the GAF system?
I love it. The biggest part I love about it, honestly, is the nailing pattern. You could, when I started, it was hand nailing, like, or staple, and eventually we got into a nailer. But when you have that nailing pattern, you can still keep a consistent speed and go a little quicker, but you're always double hitting them shingles. And I know, like Rich was explaining earlier, we do a 6 nail pattern on our shingle, but when our next shingle comes on it, we actually have 12 nails in each shingle.
Right.
So it ain't going nowhere.
For sure.
So, and that's another thing. So I think that the HDZs and GAF is a really good product.
All right, Joe, we really appreciate you being part of the Paradise family.
Appreciate you
And
guys.
we look forward to continuing our progress together.
Love it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.